last night, pretty upset. My son himself had 3 friends killed, okay? But then altogether in the last 3 days, there has been 6 young people killed. Putting something together or working together, trying to prevent things like this happening as far as youth violence. I'm looking for suggestions. What can we do?
And you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Even settings like this, even getting together like this with the young and the old, because you can't leave out. You never.
My grandfather that raised me was a pastor, so there was a lot of conflict. There's a lot of conflict, and I had a lot of turmoil behind it. And now, as an adult, I approach life. My passion is for these kids, but I approach it in a way that I want to be really effective, because I feel like we create things for young people, but we don't get to know them. We want to judge them from from wisdom, looking at childish ways, but there's a reason for all of it. And I just felt like if I needed something, how could I create it? And Teen Nation was the best thing we could come up with. I wanted to take this time to sit up there and really talk to y'all and hear y'all. How are you? 16? 17. And this is the reason why we're here. And I never want to forget that. There's a lot of things that us as adults, we feel the need for in so many areas, but if we're not really getting to y'all, none of this really matters. You know what I mean? So I want to get your
Don't go wrong without probably don't listen.
You feel like they don't listen.
Listen.
I agree.
And we live in a society right now. You guys you're not afraid of nothing. You're fearless. So it's like us as parents, how do we parent a generation of fearless kids? You was talking about the killings that we're sick of, but young people these days are like desensitized to gunplay, because you see it. You know what I mean? It's easy to get a pistol these days. So I think it's just bringing them back to being in a state of sensitive.
I mean, they've been through life. Like, this period, they be like, oh, I've been there, done that, this and that, but, generations change. So, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying is, y'all listen more.
And don't assume we know it all.
Yeah, just because y'all been at that age.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot to learn from you guys.
So basically, what you're saying is, you've been there and you've done that, but
So I ain't got
you're not in my shoes today.
Yeah,
Okay.
I live longer than y'all.
Right.
Been there, done that.
But we're not in your shoes today. We don't know exactly what you're going through now. What we went through back then is different than what you're going through now. Different generation. Okay.
So you feel like
2 things I was going to say. First of all, we need to ask the young people what do they want, not what we think. What they want. That's number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, that brother right behind y'all, Natty Boy, is an artist on our label. In his music, he raps about what he sees, what he hears, and what he hears people speak on. But that don't make him a bad person.
Right.
Because that's what he raps about.
Right.
Because that's what's in his environment. We can't talk about what's going on in Beverly Hills because that's not affecting us.
Right.
So if we interpret what he says through his lyrics and run with it the wrong way, that was that individual who did that. We call Rolls Royce Music, Zus Freeway, and Natty Boy is our first artist. But what needs to be said here, I notice we keep saying, we talk about the undereducation of our youth, and this is what makes us act this way. This is what was said. But it really starts within the school. Because guess what? When that school teacher tell a kid to come up front who has a problem reading and writing, that's bullying. Then you put him against the wall, and that's what makes him angry. That's what makes him lash out. Now you say we need to ask them. First of all, let's see if we really know what the real issue is. How many of y'all been over there on Mount Vernon within the last couple of days? then you'll have an idea of what they deal with day to day. You know, how many of y'all would walk with them in their neighborhood at 12, 1 o'clock? You know, I understand that this is your wife and y'all married and y'all doing good for yourselves, but there's a lot of young people that's not doing good, young women having young kids. And then the young kid and the young mother is not educated. So how far do you think the kid is going to get if that's who feed them, whether it be food or information from the brain?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so we keep busting up the bridge because guess what? We need to come together. We need to have these forums where the young people take part with the elders
Yes.
and understand each other.
Yes.
We have ministry here, we have street here, we have everything here. And everything is important.
Yes.
No big U's, no little me's. It's all being on the same accord. And that's to help the youth.
Yes.
The violence, forced violence and bloodshed, that's what they taught us as slaves. And it's instilled in us and it's embedded of us. And the only way we're going to get it out is talk about it
That's
and
right.
address it head on.
That's right.
I don't care what the tempo of the room is, we got to get it out
That's
and got to
right.
address it.
That's right.
When I see these young brothers, I'm sitting here looking at them as they come in. And I understand the discouragement when they come into a room full of older people
Right.
and not a lot of them.
Right.
Because guess what? If there was a lot of them, y'all would be uncomfortable. Especially if they're not looking like you.
Yeah.
See, stop. See, that's what we keep doing.
Yeah.
We keep jumping in and defending ourselves. This is not, we don't have to defend ourselves. We're here for the same reason. I'm not overlooking your background, because I know yours ain't nothing like mine.
Nah, but we ain't doing
But hear me out.
Well, I'm William Harris. We started Rolls Royce Music.
First artist, Natty Boy, with name Brian Clark.
And what is it that you guys do?
Make music. So
I'm a rapper.
what we wanted to do was try and reach out to the youth too. That's why when we had the opportunity to get into the bookstore and everything else, that's what we did too, to get back to the community. And I just feel that we in a good position to really help, you know. I know, I'm not used to talking
You
on
okay?
camera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Just
saying?
want to
But
make sure you're heard, that's all.
it's not that we gangsters out the streets, nothing like that. We just make some music. But if we can help the youth too, because I got kids too, you know what I mean? So I don't want them out the street.
Yeah,
So
so
when I hear about stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it really bothers me because I keep a lot of stuff inside, you know, but we're not trying to hurt nobody, you know what I'm saying? We're just trying to make some money.
Yeah, that's why I want to
The right thing,
separate the
you know.
rap from, you know, everything. Let the music, like you said, music is just music. You know, it don't have to be nothing more than just music, because it's new music. You know, certain songs put you in different moods, you know, so, you know, like she said, you choose to listen to whatever you want to listen to. And at the end of the day, we still need to hold rappers responsible for being role models, and they just need to come out and just make commercials saying, you know, even though we make this music, at the end of the day, we're human, and, you know, it's just music. You know, that's all it is, it's music. So that's what I want to bring to, you know, the rap game, just separate it, you know, because we don't have any, I feel, you know, we barely have any more black leaders. You know, they all got killed, assassinated. Only our leaders are rappers. All our black leaders are rappers. So at the end of the day, I think, you know, everybody should come together and you know, and let the young people know that it's just music, and don't, whether we popping mollies or rolling around with whatever, you know, that's just, you know, that's your lifestyle, and you can choose to do whatever you want to do at the end of the day. It's just entertainment. That's
Yeah.
what
And see, people don't know how to separate
that's what it is.
entertainment from real life.
And that's the
If he really did everything he rapped about, he was dead. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
and that's the problem
so that's
when
the
you
thing
have, like,
with the young people. They want to do everything
Yeah.
that's in the videos
Yeah.
and what they think people be doing. But he got kids, I got kids. I'll be home.
It's like,
you know
you
what
know,
I'm saying?
if people want to paint if guys want to paint their nails black, dye their hair black, who are we to say, you know, you can't go and tattoos all over their face? Who are we to say they can't do that? If it don't stop you, what they eat don't make you go to the bathroom. So as long as they're not interfering with your life, let them have their style. Let them have them. That's them. You don't know them. You don't know anybody.
No, and you're absolutely right.
You don't know what they
Wait a
can.
minute.
Speaking about youth violence today, we have some others that are with us. And first of all, I want to say once again that we are so glad for Sean Stevenson, inviting us to Book Suites. I mean, this is a fantastic place. We thank you for this genre. We feel like we're really, really blessed. Our topic, yes, is youth violence. If you really, really want to know something about this subject and where you can be and where you can be, I'll say it that way. These guys have some answers, and they're good answers. Theo?
My name is Doug Robinson. I'm the CEO of Cashmere Publications. I'm also a mentor specialist. I'm from Maryland, DC area. Grew up in Maryland and DC. It's like 20 minutes from each other, where it's very violent. When I left DC to come up here, DC was the third most dangerous city in the United States. So my background, people that I grew up around, was bred from, was very violent. That's who I looked up to, and that's how I became the way I was. But I turned it all around after doing a 7-year bid, slowed down, came out 7 months, and feds knocked me off and did 6 years and 10 months. But it was in my federal incarceration where I wrote this book, and 25% of each cell goes to a youth center for the 15-year-old that got killed. This is where the passion for the youth came in with me, because it's the only senseless killing in that book is the 15-year-old. I started mentoring while I was inside the feds, mentoring my homies from DC, Maryland, Ohio, Bloods, Crips. I was like a shot caller in my unit, de-escalating stuff in my unit and on the compound. Not being no big wig, but because I was a peaceful dude and I'm a Christian, people saw me as a go-to. So I wasn't with no cliques, so people can come and confide in me, and God used me to stop stuff in my unit and on the compound. So I don't give no glory to myself or my homies. It was just me and being ordered where I was supposed to go to. But I came out here and did the same thing. So, like somebody said, something about programs. Programs got their red tape, but in that programs that you're a part of, you can meet a lot of people and doors can open up. Because I've been out the halfway house 21 months, and I'm doing my thing. Glory to God, and the best is yet to come. I hear people. Some people ain't been in prison and been out here for years. It's like I'm hearing all this lip service. Then just make it happen. Because if it's for you to make it happen, you're gonna meet the people that you're supposed to meet to make it happen. You know what I mean? Because there's no way that I should be out here 21 months and where I'm at, and all these people talking about this, that, and the third, and they've been out here for years. Then somebody doing something wrong. You know what I mean? So my thing is, being in these communities, dealing with these shooters, trying to get them to put the guns down. We can't solve every dispute, because you're going to have your disputes with attitudes, girls, drug deals, and whatever, you know what I'm saying? But for the ones that can be prevented, this is what we come into play at, trying to show these youth that it's another way, sharing our experiences with them, and not bringing it towards us, because it ain't about us. Once they know who we are, just like the young man said, it's about listening. Once I give an introduction to a youth and they know who I am, it's no more about me. I don't go in about what I done did and who I know and all of that. It's all about assessing that youth need. And when you can get that out the way, then the process begins with the youth. You know what I mean? So many people want to talk. Just like the young man said, they don't listen. If you can just listen, then you can know how to assess this youth need, and then the process can begin. So, when we in these neighborhoods, we ain't got time to be talking about us and this, that, and the first, because we dealing with people that shoot. You know what I'm saying? So we trying to listen to see how we can help them, and then mend the process. You know what I'm saying? So, I met this brother in this program that we worked at previously. And we've been out in these communities. Just like I was doing this beforehand as well as him, and just like he told me, he started in the feds too. So, it ain't like we doing this for attention. We doing this because it's been birthed into it. And everybody can't do this. That don't make them a bad person. But, people just got to stay in their lane for what it is that they can do. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody can't go in these neighborhoods where these neighborhoods got the reputation as killings and stuff like that, and then try to help us. We can be the bridge to you to help this person, but don't try going there on your own, knowing that you might can't come out there alive. Me, because I was out 7 months, after I came home from a 7-year sentence, and dudes in the street got me out the way because of fear. So when somebody fear you like that, the day and age now, they're gonna pick up that phone and be like, he over here. So they can easily get you out the way. Sometimes it ain't with a gun. Sometimes it's not with violence and fists or nothing like that. It's with a phone call. So once I realized that, you know, these individuals feared me like that, and it's nothing I did to intimidate them to get me out the way, that's when God set me down like, look, this is what I want you to do, and this is what you're going to do. You know what I mean? He told me that Fed was all training for what I'm doing now. All training for what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? So I don't got no regrets of it because I was only out 7 months, because I realized I could have been dead, I could have been doing life in prison, or I could have been AIDS infested, but I'm 40 years old and don't have none of that. So with me realizing I got my whole life ahead of me, and that this plan that he birthed in me is big, way bigger than what I was on the street level. And when I was on the street level, I was big, considered, you know, what society think, but it's way beyond that, you know what I mean? So I got to stay focused on the journey that he got set for me, and keep the foolishness away from me. Somebody that I meet is sharing my vision and he's sincere or she's sincere and they truthful, we're gonna hook up. But if I see that, you know, somebody got some foolishness, I'm gonna miss you. I don't care about your reputation, none of that. And I can say it nicely or I can say it sternly. So, you know what I mean? I don't got no problem
For Sean, because my wife has talked so much about you, man.
I can cut in my mouth, y'all.
I need to hear from you, your story, man.
I changed when Obama took office. That's when I knew it was time. That's when it hit. You know, if he can change and make a difference, I'm gonna do the same, by any means necessary. Like Thel, we was working together, both of us in the intervention program, due to our backgrounds and the names and the validity of what we stood for and stood on, and we help each other. We work as a team, even though I'm not there any longer. I walked away from the program because there's a lot of things I'm not going to put up with and eat. But as you see, we still together because we wasn't doing it for the program anyway. You know, I was doing the same thing in prison. I served 20 years, and you know, a lot of people know about my case, who I am. I start guys like this young man right here, Lieutenant Sawyer, yeah, you know, who kept me on the right course. You know, when I was wanting to go back out here in the streets, he always said, Sean, just keep doing what you're doing. Him, Deputy Chief Blackwell, you know, they were in my corner, they listened to me, and that's the point right here, listening, you know, having somebody to talk to and bounce things off of. And when me and Thel met each other, you know, he was on this God thing, and I was on God thing, but not like him. He's hard with it. So we would clash, but you know, God works it all out. You know, and I tell you, we would clash sometimes, and I'm glad that we clash because I realize he's a man, he knows I'm a man. And that's what men do. They don't always see eye to eye on the beginning. Right. But you know, the goal is to help the youth, and that's what we're gonna do out here. You know, I came from the streets. I started one of the first gangs in this city. My mother and my father was gangsters and thugs, or whatever you want to call them, street people. It's just, you know, something that needs to be done. In order for us to wake up the community and change the community, we got to be active in our community. And I refuse to be anything other than that, you know?